I want to invite all of the children and young folks of the church to come forward for a blessing and a conversation. Miss Barb, you have something to share with us, and I want to be here to hear it too. So,
like this?
I think so, yeah. Give them a minute. Come on down, y'all. Good to see you.
Good morning to everybody. How are you? Huh? All good? I'm sorry, I gotta hold it closer. There we go. All right, I'll try to do this right. Okay. This summer, have you noticed that we have talked about a whole bunch of things with you guys? The first Sunday, Mr. Bill talked about the pulpit, right? And then later on in the summer, we had Joel talked about the organ. So we've had all different things that we've had people talk about. Taking collection, remember those little baskets that you made? So today we're going to talk about communion. That little piece of bread and that little bit of juice that you dip it in. And we did that last Sunday, and we're going to do it again next Sunday. But today we're just going to talk about it and think about it. And I want to show you how we prepare for communion and so on. So we'll all do that together. So, communion. Jesus invited his disciples to eat a piece of bread and remember him. He said to them, "My body is broken for you." And then he invited them to take a drink of juice. And he said, "Remember again, this is my lifeblood drawn for you." So those are all things, and the word that I kept thinking about this week was remembering. And I am not very good at remembering, especially people's names. I get mixed up a lot. I also forget to wear my little name tag that Sally in the office made special for me. I put it in my car thinking I would remember it, but I still forget it. I don't know what that's all about. I was also thinking about remembering, and I brought this along. I dug this out of the recycle. This is my grocery list. Does anybody else have a grocery list? Yes. I think probably your parents do it on their phones, right? They don't have a piece of paper like me. Then the other thing I wanted to show you is this right here. Can you help me get it out, Jojo? There we go. This is a calendar. I'll bet you guys don't have things like this at your house either, but we do. And it's September, right? And this is a cool calendar because it's got all the birds. I love it. And in 2 weeks, there's a little R here. And you know what that stands for? That reminds me that I have to put out the recycle stuff that week. So Bern and I write all the stuff on our calendar because that way we can keep track of each other. So that's another remembering thing. The other thing I want to show you is this picture. This is my dad and mother. My father, it's his birthday today. He was 94 years ago when he died. So this is what I use to remember him. And I remember him, and I've been thinking about him because he and I sometimes didn't get along so good. Everybody has that with their mom and dad, right? But the good thing about him was he was a volunteer, and he liked to volunteer in all different things. So that's how I kind of remember. When I do volunteer projects, I remember him. And I think we honor him. And I think that's what Jesus wanted us to do when he said that we should remember him. So let's think about that just a little bit more, remembering him. And I also want you to think about, I forgot where I'm going with this. He said to eat and drink and remember him. So what do you think we should remember about Jesus? I was thinking about that this week. And I think one of the things that I remember about Jesus is he said there was some important things that we had to do. He said that we need to love God, and we need to love each other, and we need to love ourselves. And then he added something to that. He said, we also should love people that we don't like very much and that upset us much. And I think that is the really hard thing, isn't it? Loving people that aren't so lovable. So I want you to think about that this week. And this week I also want you to think about, we're going to talk some more about communion. And I want you to pray with me now, okay? Will you do that? And we always hold up our arms, right, to do blessing. And I want you to say this: Dear God, this week help me to remember Jesus. Help me to love like Jesus. Jesus. Amen. Thank you for joining me. Let's go out this way, okay, and up the hallway.